DGG lawsuit. Ladies and gentlemen, according to News Channel by Your Side, NBC 8, Florida streamer Destiny sued over cyber sexual harassment. Court documents. The Florida-based live streamer and YouTube personality known as Destiny was accused of sharing sexual content of a woman without her consent or knowledge. The federal lawsuit filed in the Southern District of Florida on Tuesday alleged Destiny, whose real name is Stephen K. Bennell II, sent a sexual video to a random fan, who then spread them to various websites. The plaintiff, a Jane Doe, identified a lawsuit by her influencer username Pixie, had a sexual encounter with Bennell in 2020, according to the complaint. The lawsuit said that Pixie was a smaller content creator with 15,000 followers on X and 10,000 followers on live stream platform Twitch, compared to Bennell's 840,000 YouTube subscribers and 700,000 followers he acclimated on Twitch before his account was banned. Both Pixie and Destiny create politically oriented online content. So the news has picked it up. Oh, and by the way, chat, make sure that you click this link. You guys should definitely click this link. Because you want this local news to get a lot of clicks, to get advertising revenue, so that they want to keep covering this story, right? So make sure that you don't just use images on Twitter, right? I'm gonna reply that. My God, I can't type. Help your local news make revenue off of their journalism. Oh my God, why can I not type? It's very important because, like, local news is really important. And they, you know, if they do well enough, they might send a reporter to the trial. You know, they might send a reporter to the trial.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I want to say, chat, that I am so proud of this community. We helped raise, helped raise from this community tens of thousands of dollars for Pixie's legal fund, along with people all across the internet. We were the #1 fundraising source for the lawsuit, based on the timing of when the money came in. And that being said, there was a lot of really important supporters, you know, that have poured money. That was when I last checked. Maybe money has continued to flow in that blows what we did out of the water, but we were key early money. Early money is like yeast. It grows. And so I just want to say this lawsuit was brought to you in part by the Central Committee stream. Holy fuck, I want so badly to never hear this pest name again. The only way that's going to happen, first of all, I would, like, anybody who's ignoring this story is helping create rape culture in streaming, where women who, you know, file police reports and file lawsuits, they're not given attention. They're doing it the right way. And you know, so many of these guys like Tectone or whatever, who are so eager to criticize women for not complaining in the right way, right? They're not covering this. It's almost like when a woman does everything right, the misogynists don't care. It's almost like they just hate women. All right, well, let's get into this lawsuit, chat. Let's get into this lawsuit. United States District Court, Southern District of Florida, Miami Division, Jane Doe plaintiff versus Stephen K. Bennell II, defendant. It's so awesome that Stephen has, you know, Destiny has stylized himself as Stephen K. Bennell II so much so they could get his exact name on the lawsuit. Stephen K. Bennell II. Complaint. To the honorable court comes now plaintiff Jane Doe, by and through her undersigned counsel, and very respectfully states, alleges, and prays as follows. Nature of the action. This action seeks to hold defendant accountable for his unauthorized, intentional, and unlawful disclosure and dissemination of intimate images and sexually explicit videos of the plaintiff, thereby causing plaintiff extreme emotional and physical distress, depression, anxiety, and harm to her personal and professional reputation. Plaintiff seeks injunctive relief, compensatory and punitive damages, attorney's fees, and any other relief this honorable court deems just and proper as a result of defendant's unlawful, extreme, and outrageous conduct towards plaintiff. So basically what she said, what they're asking for is money and what are called injunctions. Injunctions are, so courts have two types of power, chat. So we have two types of courts, and there's two types of power in this. Okay, so you have criminal courts. That's where the plaintiff is always the state, right? And then you have civil courts, which are open to anybody. In civil courts, we have, the court has two types of power. There is power at law, and there's power at equity, right? Power at law is where the court makes you pay money. Power at equity is where the court orders you to do shit, right? The courts like to order you to pay money, but under certain circumstances, they will order you to do things, right? And so it looks like right now what Pixie is doing is she's suing for a lot of money, and she's suing to make Destiny do shit. So, and sometimes doing something is not doing something. Like, for example, the court can tell you to shut the fuck up, right? Like, the court could tell you, shut the fuck up. That's like one of the things that's in the power of the court. All right, so let's keep going. Plaintiff brings claims pursuant to, inter alia, the Intimate Image Protection Act, 15 USA, Section 6851, the Sexual Cyber Harassment Statute, Florida Statute, Section 784.049, and other federal laws pertaining to the right of privacy, public disclosure of private facts, and the intentional infliction of emotional distress. Now, many people don't know this, but it is against the law to intentionally inflict emotional distress on someone. How many of you knew that? How many of you knew that it's against the law to intentionally inflict emotional distress on someone? Did you know that? Isn't that an easy lawsuit for Hassan against D? The thing about IIED is it's a pretty hard case to win in America, right? For IIED, as it's known, to be successful, you usually need some other tort, which is, a tort is what we call a civil wrong. Like, if I punch you in the face, let's say that you and I are at a bar and I punch you in your nose as hard as I can, right? I've committed a crime and I've committed a tort. I've committed a criminal act and I've committed a civil wrong, right? So I would be making a crime against society and a crime against you. Society punishes me criminally. You can punish me civilly. So I would be a criminal and what's known as a tortfeasor. Does that make sense? So Destiny is a criminal and Destiny is a tortfeasor. Now, most people don't focus on like the civil side because who gives a shit about money, right? Like, we want you to go to prison, right? We want you to lose your, you know, that's, people fixate on the criminal stuff because that's like the loss of your liberty. That's the real shit, right? You get very scared about that. So, all right. The other thing to take note of is he's being sued in federal court. This is very interesting, chat. Destiny is actually being sued in federal court, not Florida state court. Hey, Mike, you should have a regularly occurring special segment where you specifically refer to court cases and explain it to us like this. Okay, I mean, maybe, if they're interesting. Mike, I love you and your voice, but your chat is full of cringy leftists. Honestly, who gives a fuck? Be cringe. One of the worst things about Zoomers and young millennials is you're so scared of being cringe. Who gives a fuck? Why do you care what these dumbasses think of you? Do what makes you feel happy, man. Who gives a fuck? Embrace trying. Embrace being earnest. Embrace being cringe. Who cares? Oh no, an 18-year-old thinks I'm uncool. Who gives a fuck? You know what's cringe? Being a fucking sex criminal. That's what's cringe. That's what's cringe. Jurisdiction and venue. So what we're looking at right now, chat, is a legal complaint. In the process of a lawsuit, typically what will happen is the plaintiff, the person who's the victim, will go to the person who wronged her with her attorneys and say, hey, you broke the law here, here, and here. You know, invaded my rights and you owe me. So will you accept that you did wrong and compensate me? Now, if the person who committed the wrong says, I did that, I'm sorry, and here is a fair compensation for what you went through, if you agree not to sue me, I will do the X, Y, and Z things. That's called a settlement, right? That's the most common outcome in these kinds of situations, because lawsuits are expensive. They can take some time. You know, they are in public, right? Everyone, you know, the court is a public place. The information comes out. And oftentimes, if you did something wrong and you have remorse for it, you oftentimes will accept a settlement because you feel contrite. Contrite is when you feel guilty and you want to right the wrong. That's what contrite means, right? How many of you feel contrite from time to time? How many of you do stuff that you realize was the wrong thing to do and you feel bad about it and you want to fix it? Not any Destiny fans will not be typing one or saying yes. The Destiny fans don't understand this. This is called feeling guilty and trying to fix the thing. That's called empathy. Those of us who do not have sociopathic traits, we feel this from time to time. We're like, "Ooh, I was mean to that person. I didn't treat that person fairly. Let me fix that." So most times when somebody commits an offense against somebody else and that person comes to them and says, if you don't fix it, I'm going to sue you, most people are like ashamed of what they did and they will settle and they will, you know, compensate the person they harmed and they will admit wrongdoing, and then they'll be like, hey, we won't, you know, please don't sue me in public. Because if you sue me in public, everybody will be able to look at the documents. Everybody will get to see what I've done in black and white, clear as crystal. I don't want you to do that. I'm going to give you, you know, in Destiny's case, I need to give you $5 million or $2 or $3 million, and then you'll be quiet about it. Please, please, please. But some people like Destiny are shameless and evil. And even when they're caught red-handed, it's clear as crystal. There's no dispute over the facts. Everybody knows. He's admitted it. He's admitted it publicly. He still refuses to make it right with the person that he harmed. So that's why we have a court system. Because if we didn't have a court system, people would just kill each other. You know, like if we didn't have a system where people could bring disputes, you know, people would just roll up with fucking guns and they'd blast your ass. But because we have a system like this with a neutral third party, that's the supposed purpose of our court system, right? That's why courts are necessary to help we maintain civil harmony by giving people the opportunity to have wrongs righted. So that's the kind of idea behind courts. Unfortunately, in America, it's gate kept behind money. It's very expensive to go to court. So a lot of people who get harmed never get justice because they can't afford attorneys. They can't afford the courts. And so people like Destiny, who are wealthy tortfeasors, wealthy criminals, they can find victims and use and abuse them because they, you know, if you're let's say, for example, hypothetically, a sex criminal, and you try to find young teenage girls with mental illnesses that you could sexually exploit. right? You could create a pattern of practice of sexually exploiting young teenage girls with mental illnesses like BPD or narcissistic personality disorder. And you could have a grand old time knowing that even though you were abusing them and criminally recording them and sharing their stuff without consent, they didn't have the wherewithal, they didn't have the money to sue you. And you could do that for a decade plus of just finding young girls, 19-year-old girls, like your ex-wife, who you first approached when you were 30-something years old and she was 18 or 19. Right? And you could use the allure of internet fame and money to take advantage of them. Mike, we don't diagnose teenagers with personality disorders. That's what Destiny does. Destiny would target women with borderline personality disorder so that he could discredit them as crazy after he abused them. It's a joke in his community, chat. It's a joke. If there's any Destiny or ex-Destiny viewers in the chat, did he not make that a meme in his community that he was thirsting for BPD women? Did you see Z Squirrel on Twitter ranting about Bernie? Absolutely insane to call Bernie a war. I disagree with her. I understand her emotional position, but I disagree with her on that. Anyway. All right, so let's get back to this. Now, so after the settlement phase, if the parties can't agree, the plaintiff will sue. And they have to put in what's known as a complaint. And we're now in the pleading stage of the case. When the plaintiff says, you have not made me right, you have not settled this case, you have not lived up to your obligations, I am going to get the court to order you to do it. Now, why do you go to the court? What can the court do? The court can take your shit. That's what the sheriff is for. In case you understand, the sheriff, if you've ever been like, what's the difference between a cop and a sheriff? Why do we have cops and why do we have sheriffs? Like, I don't understand. What's the difference between the two? Cops are law enforcement that is created under the executive branch, and they are subservient to executives, so like the mayor or the governor. The sheriff is law enforcement that is subservient to the judge and to the judicial branch. So in the federal government, we have marshals. At the state level, we have sheriffs. So the marshals are law enforcement that is subservient to courts. And so that is why we have sheriffs. That's why we have cops. So so if you lose a court case, the judge will order the sheriff to help you get your restitution. The sheriff could take your bank account. The sheriff could take your house. The sheriff could take your car. The sheriff could take your assets. The sheriff can force you to do things to comply with the courts. That's what the sheriffs do. So, and in this case, because it's a federal case, so she's suing him in federal court, chat. You have federal courts and you have state courts. She's suing him in federal district court, which is very interesting. So, which gets us to the pleading. So now we're at the pleadings. This is the complaint, right? This is the complaint. This is her laying out what she believes is going wrong. What her rights she thinks were violated. So this is her side of the story. Now, the thing about the complaint is Pixie doesn't know everything yet. Because when somebody does something fucked up to you, you don't know everything that happened yet. Because they might have secret information that they're concealing, right? So after you do a complaint, there's a period of discovery where she will get the right, with the court's help, to get the secret information that Destiny has. So she'll be able to use the court, and the court will go to, and the court will issue with something called a subpoena. A subpoena is an order by the court to provide evidence or testimony. So she will go to the court and say, I need your help to get his DMs from Discord. So the court will look at her pleadings and say, I think that if I read your case, if I read your complaint, in the light most favorable to you, and is enough to win the case, I can help you get discovery, right? And so she will be able to order Discord to provide all those logs, right? She'll be able to go and get his phone records. She'll be able to go and look at bank accounts. She'll be able to go, and the court will be able to like order him to provide that information. If he doesn't provide that information, he goes to prison. That's called a subpoena. The court will order people to come testify under oath. And if you lie under oath, that's called perjury. You go to prison. So now that she's suing him, she has the power to go to Facebook, to go to Discord, to go to Twitch DM. She can go in Twitch DM. She can look through that stuff for relevant information for the case. That's called discovery. That's why most people settle, because they don't want discovery to happen, right? Like, if you did something bad, you don't want your private messages and things to be like looked through. So now that this has happened, she'll be able to, she'll have access to all those powers of the court, right? When is he responsible for keeping and conserving evidence? Is he responsible for before the evidence of the complaint? So that's a very good question. What I understand is Pixie's lawyers ordered him to conserve evidence before they sued him. They said, hey, when they came to the settlement, they said to him, hey, I want you to conserve this evidence. Don't destroy evidence. If you destroy evidence after being told to conserve it, that's called spoliation, and that's a crime. So spoliation is when you destroy evidence that you've been told to preserve. And if evidence is destroyed, the court is supposed to look at that evidence as if it existed in a light most unfavorable to the spoliator, the person destroying the evidence. So it's really stupid. So not only is it a crime, it's also really bad for your case. That's why people don't destroy evidence. If you're always wondering, like, why didn't somebody destroy this? Now, it doesn't mean that destroying evidence doesn't work, right? If you destroy evidence and nobody knows you destroyed that evidence and nobody knows about that evidence, then you get away with it. But if somebody suspects that evidence exists and then you destroy it later and it's found out, well, then that's really bad, right? So that's why you'll see, like, wow, why the fuck did this company turn over this email that says they're guilty? That's crazy. Well, because people didn't want to go to prison for it. All right, so in order for a case to exist, and I'm sorry for explaining this at like baby tier level, if I'm doing too basic of an explanation, would D deleting messages on Discord but having them on the server be considered spoliation? Yes. It would be considered spoliation if he did it after he was ordered to conserve it, because it's like this. Imagine that you have a document, right? And it has a photostatic copy, but I don't have power over the photostatic copy. If I destroy the original copy when you order me to turn it over, but then they go find the photostatic copy from somebody else, I still tried to destroy it. I still tried to make it harder for you to find it. All you have to do is attempt to spoil evidence. The success or failure of the attempt is not relevant. Exactly. So, great point. So, Destiny is committing crimes left and right, right? And the thing about people like Destiny is stupid. I want you to understand something, Chad. He is a music school dropout. He has no legal experience. He has no academic credentials. He was he oftentimes describes himself as a StarCraft professional gamer. He was never a pro StarCraft player. He was a semi-pro StarCraft player. He played in a couple paid tournaments and had a couple mid-level semi-pro results. He was never a professional StarCraft player, right? He was a streamer. He was famous for bad manners. He was famous for yelling slurs. He was famous for being edgy. Okay? He was never a professional gamer. All right? He has no gamer cred. But in his mind, he is a former StarCraft professional, right? Because technically he played StarCraft and made money off of it. All right? But that's not, he wasn't really good. So the thing about Destiny is he has Dunning-Kruger effect. He thinks that he knows more than other people because he thinks very highly of himself, his narcissistic traits, right? He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. So he doesn't respect education. He doesn't respect credentials. He doesn't respect expertise. And because of that, he's not going to listen to what his attorneys tell him to do. He's just going to spout off, right? And when you have a sociopathic narcissist with Dunning-Kruger like Destiny, he's just going to say dumbass fucking shit the whole way. And he's never faced accountability for his actions in his entire life. He's never fucked with somebody who could fight back or was willing to fight back, right? There's a lot of people that could have fought back against Destiny over the years, but they calculated that it would just help him more. Like, you know, if Hassan sued Destiny, that would probably help Destiny, right? Because Destiny would be like, Hassan is suing me, make a bunch of content. He would do GoFundMes, and it would get a lot of attention on him, right? So it never really made sense to go after Destiny like that, even though like he could have been sued by Twitch or it could have been sued by Hassan or me or it was never. We always calculated that it was just not smart to do. We didn't want to make him famous like Ethan Klein, right? Like Ethan Klein got sued. And he actually became famous because he was defending fair use, right? That was how Ethan Klein got famous. Now he's threatening Redditors, right? Ironic, very ironic. He's now the guy threatening fair use. But in this case, Destiny is being sued by somebody who has the support of people like me, but who themselves is innocent. Like who hates Pixie? Like, who's going to ride to the... There's nobody who's negatively polarized against Pixie. You know, Pixie is a lovely, nice person who fell into the Destiny orbit. You hate to see it when she was 19. I feel really bad for her. I have a lot of empathy for her, right? But there's not like a huge she's not like a huge political figure or public figure that people are negatively polarized against. So her suing Destiny is the best of all possible worlds, right? And so so, you know, there's no such thing as a perfect victim. And it's important to keep that in mind. That Destiny's going to try his hardest to discredit her. But this is why accountability has finally come. Because for Pixie, it makes sense to sue his ass. It's not going to help him. Yes, there were other people involved. At least one other person wanted to sue, but it appeared... Okay, this is the first suit, by the way. This is the first lawsuit. You know, this is... I understand somebody else filed a criminal complaint, and this is the first lawsuit. So this is just beginning. The accountability for Destiny is just beginning. I'm sure more people will sue. I'm sure more people will file criminal complaints, right? But this is the beginning of the accountability process. And for Destiny, he's never been held accountable for his actions, right? He's always been on the offense. He's always been the person who had the upper hand. And now, for the first time ever, he's going to be judged according to what he did by a neutral third party and the law. And we're going to make sure, and this is my solemn oath, that every single person who has been wronged by Destiny and who wants to pursue criminal and civil charges, I will have your back to the utmost. That is my solemn vow. Let's keep going. Jurisdiction and venue. So in order for you to sue someone, they have to have violated a law, and that the court that you sue them must have jurisdiction over them. So this is Destiny is being sued in the Southern District of Florida, and jurisdiction is a very important feature, very important in the law. However, there's one thing where a court always has jurisdiction. A court always has jurisdiction if you are in its physical geographic borders. It's called personal jurisdiction. If you as a person are within the geographic power of a court, the court has what's called personal jurisdiction over you. The court has the power over the people who live in its boundaries. Destiny, so the jurisdiction question, very easy in this case. He's being sued in the Southern District of Florida. He lives in Miami Beach, Florida. Therefore, Personal jurisdiction has attached. Pingo, bango, boom. We got him. All right, let's keep going. The court has subject matter jurisdiction pursuant to 28 U.S.C. section 1331 because this action arises under the laws of the United States, including 15 U.S.C. section 6851, the Intimate Image Protection Act. The court has supplemental jurisdiction over the plaintiff's state law claims pursuant to 28 U.S.C. section 1367 because they arise out of the same nucleus of operative facts as the federal claims. These sections of the complaint are explaining why he's able to be sued. He violated federal law, and he violated state law with the same facts that he violated federal law, so we could also adjudicate the state law claims at the same time. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And venue is proper in this judicial district pursuant to 28 U.S.C. section 1391 because a substantial part of the events or omissions giving rise to the claim occurred within this district, and defendant is subject to personal jurisdiction in the district. So we're talking about jurisdiction. We're talking about venue. Very easy. Not an important part of the case. She's suing him in the right court. He committed the crimes in that district. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. He has no defense. All right, moving on. Parties. Plaintiff Jane Doe is a citizen of the United States and a resident of Miami-Dade County, Florida. Plaintiff brings this complaint anonymously due to the intimate and sensitive nature of the materials which form the subject matter of the complaint. Defendant Stephen K. Bonnell II, Bonnell, is a citizen of the United States and a resident of Miami Beach, Florida. Very simple. Because the laws around this kind of stuff have allowed people to sue in a Jane Doe capacity for sexual crimes. Now, this may be pierced by Destiny, and I think I heard somebody say that Destiny said her real name on his stream for the first time yesterday. Is that true? Is that true? Do you guys have a clip of Destiny saying her? I mean, you don't link the clip, but I believe he was saying her name on his stream yesterday. And I bring that up because he's a disgusting criminal who's trying to do harassment and intimidation. Fucking criminal sack of shit. We're just getting started, Steven. Actual allegations. Bonnell, known online as Destiny, is a live streamer and political commentator. He has over 840,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. He has a huge following on X, Kick, Reddit, and Discord. Bonnell had over 700,000 followers on his Twitch channel before he was banned from Twitch in March 2022 due to hateful conduct. Plaintiff, online known as Pixie, is also a live streamer as well as an influencer. Pixie has 50,000 followers on X, and on Twitch she has 10,000 followers. Plaintiff began conversing with Bonnell on the Discord platform when she was approximately 19 years old. Bonnell was approximately 33 years old at the time. Plaintiff was a new streamer in the same niche as Bonnell, politics. Approximately 2 years later, on or about September 12, 2020, after multiple conversations about consent and boundaries, Plaintiff engaged in sexual relations with Bonnell. Plaintiff was inexperienced and had only physical relations with one other person prior to Bonnell. This was the only time Plaintiff and Bonnell had sexual relations. During this one occasion, Bonnell recorded videos of Plaintiff and him engaging in sexual conduct, the videos. This is so sad, dude. What a disgusting predator, man. What an absolute disgusting predator freak. Yeah, don't try to like. I'm just pointing out that Destiny's a fucking criminal, man. What a disgusting freak. Unbeknownst to the plaintiff at the time, on or about October 4th, 2022, Bonnell disseminated through electric means one of the videos to a 19-year-old woman using the screen name Rose. Rose was a random fan of Bonnell's on his Discord platform that reached out to him on Discord. Bonnell had never met Rose. Despite knowing nothing about Rose and not even knowing her real name, Bonnell intentionally shared the video with Rose without plaintiff's knowledge or consent. On or about November 29th, 2024, the sexually explicit video of plaintiff that Bonnell had shared with Rose was uploaded on the website Blank. The video also shared on multiple other pornography websites, including Blank. The caption on the video on the different platforms identify both. Shortly after the video was posted, various friends and random followers of plaintiff inform her about the dissemination of the video. Some of the messages are very accusatory. She is shocked, humiliated, and mortified by the dissemination of the sexually explicit video. This is so sad, man. What an invasion. Does anybody have the clip of Destiny talking about if he was sleeping with a 19-year-old, it would be like him sleeping with a child? Like, under Destiny's public statements, he was saying, if I approach a 19-year-old, it's like sleeping with a child. Do you guys have that clip? Shortly after the video is posted, various friends... We don't know how old Rose is, by the way, chat. We don't know if Rose is actually 19. This is just something that has been said, but we don't actually know. I don't think Rose ever actually said in the messages that she was 19. So it's a random fan that he doesn't really know their real age, but we think it may be 19. This is another 19-year-old that he was pursuing sexually. This is so disgusting. As of today's date, the video has been viewed over 10,000 times, 58,000 times, 10,000 times on various websites. On the evening of November 29th, 2024, plaintiff sends a message to Bonnell on Discord expressing her horror that he shared the video of her. She asks him if he sent any additional pornographic videos to anyone. He admits his guilt, responding, "Ugh. There shouldn't be. No. I'm so sorry. There's literally no excuse. I had phone convos and stuff with this person, but they were fairly close to me. It's worthless to say at this point, but I'm super sorry. There's literally no excuse." Plaintiff then asks him to delete any and all videos that he has of her. The leak of the video goes viral and is being discussed by thousands of followers of Destiny and Pixie on various platforms, including YouTube, Discord, Reddit, and Twitter. Plaintiff begins receiving hundreds of insulting and harassing messages. Many of the followers discussing the leaks on the different accounts falsely claim that the plaintiff exchanged sex for professional growth and favors from Bonnell. Plaintiff feels increasingly humiliated, mortified, and depressed, and starts feeling suicidal. On or about December 11th, 2024, she starts writing suicide notes. Plaintiff messages Bonnell and tells him that she's just tired of living anymore. It's a matter of time until my family discovers what happened. I feel like the best thing to do for me is to kill myself and schedule a post just detailing my feelings on what happened to try to ensure a situation like this doesn't happen again. Plaintiff then unfriends Bonnell on Discord so that she cannot receive any messages from him. That's so sad. I'm sorry for, obviously, chat, this is a really deep and really painful shit. He's an evil bastard and a scumbag. There's really nothing else more to say. On or about December 13th, 2024, plaintiff meets with Bonnell's close friend and business associate. Very nice of them to X that out on this post. Like, this person was trying to sweep for Destiny. Plaintiff tells her about her suicidal thoughts, that she cannot bear the humiliation and harassment she is enduring, and that she wants to ensure Bonnell never does this to her or anyone else ever again. Turner tells her to talk to Bonnell and tell them what they discussed. Oops, looks like they forgot to block out that. On or about December 19th, 2024, Turner asks plaintiff if Bonnell is communicated with her or added her back as a friend. Plaintiff responds in the negative. Plaintiff continues feeling depressed and suicidal. The leak of the video is still a viral topic of conversation on multiple platforms, with people making horrible accusations about the plaintiff. That's so sad, man. On morning of January 20th, 2025, two videos on YouTube are posted by two different streamers discussing the Pixie leak. The videos include screenshots of private messages of plaintiff discussing the situation with friends, and the claims that the plaintiff took hush money, only cares about money, and does not care about the other victims of the defendant. Like, look at the tactic that Destiny immediately starts to deploy, right? Oh, she just wants money. She's just a slut who wants money, and she doesn't care about any of the other victims. The guy who did the abuse is saying, this victim is a bad victim because she doesn't care about the other people I abused. What?
According to Destiny himself, he views sexting 19-year-olds as the same as sexting 15-year-olds.
When you're 19, you're a little kid, okay? Now, if you're 22, A 19-year-old's not a kid to you, okay? I'm 29. A 19-year-old might as well be a 15-year-old to me. It's all the fucking same, dude. Don't give me this fucking, just because of some legal age of consent, whatever bullshit, I have about as much in common with like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old fucking freshman in school as I would a fucking sophomore in high school. Any type of inclination towards any of those people is really fucking weird. If you live with your mom and dad still pay all of your bills, you're still a virgin, you've never been in a relationship, you don't go to school, you've never even had a job before, you've never lived on your own, you're a child. You're very much a child.
So Destiny views 19-year-olds as little kids.
You're a little kid.
And says that being attracted to them is really fucking weird.
Really fucking weird.
Yet here he is 5 years later at age 34, sexting this 19-year-old, asking her if she wants to do age play with him, and sending her non-consensual sex tapes of his friends and wife. And
Is Blue still sponsoring this freak? I don't know. Who are Destiny's sponsors? Who are Destiny's sponsors, man? We really need to start some sort of program to message any company that sponsors Destiny. And I mean, check his PC. I mean, I think like he pretty much demonstrates he understands that what he's doing is wrong, and then he goes out and does it. There's no confusion here. The majority of the posts by people assume that Bottle shared the videos with Bottle's consent and knowledge. About January 20th, 2025, in desperation, plaintiff/Pixie goes online and announces that Destiny shared the videos without her consent or knowledge, and that she will be seeking legal recourse. That same day, Bottle Destiny responds on various platforms, including Reddit and Imgur, and falsely claims that the video leak happened without my knowledge, consent, or authorization. This claim directly contradicts his November 29th, 2024 explicit written admission to plaintiff that he knowingly and intentionally shared the video with Rose without plaintiff's consent. On January 20th, right after plaintiff announced publicly that she would sue Bottle, one of his followers reached out to plaintiff and told her that Bottle had sent the video to her sister about 2 months earlier. So, after the leaks, Chuck D's, thank you for the 10 tier 1s. The follower informs plaintiff that she believes Bottle is still sending her sister sexually explicit videos of other women without their consent. On January 21st, 2025, aware of an impending lawsuit and potential criminal investigation, Bottle starts destroying evidence, including deleting messages between him and plaintiff. On January 23rd, 2025, Bottle receives a letter from the plaintiff's counsel informing him of plaintiff's intent to sue and demanding that he preserve all evidence. On or about January 23rd, 2025, Bottle begins to publicly harass and defame plaintiff. He posted his group chat called DGG with multiple people that plaintiff/Pixie is just after his money. On or about January 23rd, 2025, Bottle also posts on his website, Destiny GG, it is DGG chat, that Pixie and the people behind her just want money, so there's no point in going after the hacker. He's probably some broke loser anyway, so they aren't even mentioning him. Over 1,000 people have potentially viewed this defamatory post. I mean, the thing is, like, whether or not they figure out who hacked the Rose thing or who leaked the Rose information, that's secondary to his own actions. You know what I mean? It's like somebody else committing a crime doesn't mean that your crime is therefore not a crime. It's just a worthless waste of time. It's just a complete distraction. And it doesn't even make sense. Like, who falls for this? Are there any DGGers left making jokes about child abusers on his return stream? Me getting ready for my return stream. Who likes this guy? Who likes this guy? I mean, if you still like Destiny, or, and this is the other question I have for you. If you're an ex-Destiny fan, but you still hate me and Hassan, have you considered, or Casey Tron, or Bob7, Have you considered that maybe you were wrong and he was lying the entire time? Have you considered that perhaps he's a sex criminal, manipulator, narcissistic liar? Have you considered that? Perhaps. Bonnell's attempt to divert blame from himself and cast blame on an alleged hacker is directly contradicted by his own prior explicit written admission to plaintiff that he intentionally shared the videos, and by his text messages with Rose in which he tells her about the video with the young girl that he will send her. Bonnell continues defaming and harassing plaintiff on his website and in DGG chat. He implies that plaintiff is trying to milk him and that she's not going after anybody else that might allegedly have been involved in the leak of the videos because she, quote, can't milk as much money out of that target. Potentially over 1,000 people saw that post. I love that Destiny talks about this case in his DGG. I hope he keeps doing it. Keep talking about it, Destiny. Keep talking. This is the narcissistic crash out. You love it. His public persona as like, I'm an evolved sexual consent guy, a feminist. I care about women's consent and knowledge and respect. Yeah, it's all crashing down. Pathetic. You forgot that being a debate bro also means you hate being wrong more than anything else? Yeah. He hates being wrong more than being an accused sex criminal. This is a song I would have played to Not So Erudite. Wait, why is the sound muted? Why is the sound muted? What the fuck? All right. This is the really key case. Holy shit. This is the bombshell. In or about the end of January 2025, approximately 50 women reached out to plaintiff to tell her they had received sexually explicit images from Bonnell of other women without the other women's consent. Three of these women also tell plaintiff that Bonnell deleted their chat threads after January 23rd, 2025. Spoilation? 15 separate times. There may be multiple victims, and this is the stuff. This is why, this is just only beginning, chat. This is just only beginning. Could people attempting to aid destroy evidence be added to the lawsuit as accomplices? Because I could imagine there would be potential accessories to a crime. Yes. And so this is the reality, right? This is only beginning. There's women out there who probably don't even know that their information is being shared against their consent. There's women that there's another evidence that he secretly recorded Grindr dates without their knowledge. There could be all sorts of victims who don't even know they're victims yet. And we're not going to get that information right away. So we have, criminal complaints. We have secret recordings. We have God knows what else is on his computer, right? This is only beginning. This isn't the end. This isn't the beginning of the end. This is the beginning of the beginning for Destiny. And I can tell you, chat, that I'm going to be there every single step of the way until the last victim feels that they have gotten justice. I'm going to be dauntless in my support of the victims, and I'm going to do everything I can, financially, emotionally, psychologically, publicly. I mean, we're going to back them up until the very last one feels satisfied. All right, let's keep going. And I know I'm not alone. Is there any chance friendly reminder that this guy is H3's source of news and basically Ethan's bestie at this point. Yeah, Ethan Klein likes this guy, by the way. Ethan Klein goes to this DGG community to try to get hate shit about me and Hassan. This is who Ethan Klein is as well. This is who Ethan Klein associates himself with. This is who Dan associates with himself with. Isn't that disgusting? Upon information of belief, multiple women, including Melina and Stasia, have recently come forward and publicly alleged that Bono has released sexually explicit videos of them without their consent. Upon information of belief, these images were then posted on different pornography websites without their consent. They should sue and file police reports. Like, these are serious crimes. Every time Ethan says anything, you should ask him if he condemns Destiny. Well, the source of every single one of his arguments he makes against me and Hassan is Destiny. Every single one. Me being cringe, we talked earlier about me being sued, when I ran for office and won. All the source of all the things he uses to attack me come from DGG. They're Destiny, that's Destiny's like opposition research of me. The mega thread on Destiny sub is disturbing about this all. They're really trying to justify Destiny and pick apart the lawsuit. The people that are still Destiny fans at this point are people who made Destiny their persona. They're the people in the Führer bunker, you know? They're the people that we're going to have to dig out. You know, they're the people who, when the Red Army is reaching Berlin, are going to be taking the suicide pills, metaphorically. These are bad motherfuckers. And not bad as in, like, dangerous. Just evil little incel babies who made Destiny their entire personality and have nowhere else to go. Because they're fucking losers. A woman with a screen name Cherry recently found out Bono had secretly made an unauthorized audio recording of their sexual interaction and then distributed it to multiple people without her knowledge or consent. Bono had retaliated against Cherry by publicly posting private messages with her during a time when she was suffering a mental health crisis. On or about January 23rd, 2025, Bono begins a smear campaign against Plaintiff, and it tells his followers that Plaintiff is only interested in getting money from him. Over 1,000 of his followers could have seen this post. He also tells his followers that his only crime was being too much of a gooner. The word gooner is slang for someone who is deeply engaged in excessive adult X-rated content consumption, sometimes in a compulsive or obsessive manner. This is Destiny's greatest political and legal contribution, getting gooner defined in a fucking lawsuit. This is his biggest impact on the world, chat. Over 10 years of content creation and Destiny's biggest achievement, getting gooner in a lawsuit. On or about January 24th, 2025, another female political streamer talks about Bono's sharing of the video. She informs her followers that Destiny/Bono had recorded a conversation with her without her knowledge or consent. She alleges that after their personal relationship deteriorated, he became publicly hostile toward her. And then later, he posted to his followers that he has the recording and that he could publish it. Then on February 9th, this is witness intimidation. This is disgusting. This is Destiny saying, by the way, this is a fucking crime. He did it in California where it's illegal. It's also illegal in Florida to secretly record people. And then later he posted to his followers that he has the recording and that he could publish it. Then on February 9th, 2025, after posting a link to a clip of her talking about his sharing of the video, Bono retaliated against her by posting private sexual text messages between them to his community chat group. I mean, he's just a fucking disgusting little rat. On or about January 26, 2025, Hannah Brooke, a follower of Bono, contacted Plaintiff and informs her that even after the video was publicized on November 29, 2024, Destiny Bono offered to send the videos to her. A few days later, after a follower posted Brooke's direct messages with Bono, after the messages go public, Bono deletes his messages with Brooke and attempts to cover it up. Spoilation! Defendant, I mean, he's committing crimes. He's committing crimes. He's been told, preserve evidence. Don't delete. He's deleting shit. He's publicly, I mean, he may be. Could I just take a second here and just say that Destiny is one of the dumbest pieces of shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Like legitimately subnormal IQ. He's a dumb guy. Like earlier in the stream, I showed you how he was very stupid when we debated like politics, and that was the beginning of his hyperfixation on me and Hassan. He is a legitimately subnormal IQ, like 90 IQ, 95 IQ. He's dumb. He's a dumb guy. And he has no emotional control at all. Like if it wasn't for streaming and getting a like audience of just the worst incel basement dwelling fucking losers on the planet and getting money from YouTube, this guy would not even be able to hold down a carpet cleaning job. Like there isn't any job. Like he is a fucking dumbass. 95 is normal. I mean, 100 is normal, but I get what you're saying. 90. 85. Okay. He doesn't have a lot of firepower up there. He admits that he demands intimate content from women he was recording and then uses that as leverage for blackmail. Destiny really is just the scum of the fucking earth, man. 85 to 115 is normal, but I digress. Good point. Yes, you're right. He's one standard deviation below normal. Okay, you're right. Thank you for correcting me, chatter. Defendant has admitted that he disclosed the video to Rose, and there is evidence that he disclosed it to other people without plaintiff's consent. The defendant could have and should have expected that the videos would then be publicly disclosed and disseminated to hundreds or thousands of people online, which is exactly what foreseeably occurred. On January 30th, 2025, Destiny Bodal admits that he had been actively deleting evidence of his wrongdoing, specifically his messages with multiple women who have claimed he shared sex videos with them without the participants' consent. That's spoliation. He's a criminal. He's guilty as fuck. His lawyers, I wonder how his lawyers are reacting to reading this complaint. Like, I wonder what is, like, there's no way he's been talking to his legal dudes. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way he's been, like, his lawyers would be like, yeah, go ahead, delete anything. They are probably stroking out right now. I heard, and this may just be a rumor, I heard he hired this is not a joke. I heard that he hired Prince Andrew's lawyer. This is a rumor that I heard. I can't verify it, but it is a rumor that I heard that he so if somebody knows who his attorneys are when they start responding, we'll revisit that. It's just a rumor that was out there that he was hiring Prince Andrew's lawyer, but we'll see. That may not actually, the thing with lawyers is like sometimes you hire a lawyer and then you get a different trial lawyer, so I don't feel confident saying that's definitively true. It's just some information that I heard, and we are looking to confirm. So I would take that with a big grain of salt. You know, I'm not alleging that is actually what's happened. But it's something that I did hear. We should be expecting his response to the pleadings within 30 days, chat. So it's going to be probably within a month. We'll have some sort of like response to the complaint, some motions being filed, things like that we can go off of. I have 145 and I'm literally one of the dumbest people alive. IQ is meaningless. As Socrates says, what makes you wise is being aware of what you don't know. It's not what you know, it's being aware of what you do not know. That's what makes you wise. So people that have high IQs, oftentimes, if they're not like the losers who obsess over like IQ as mattering, they understand the breadth of human knowledge and what little tiny sliver that they actually have access to. And so that makes them very much more humble and being okay with being wrong about things and being corrected about things. Like actual useful intelligence is somebody who also has humility, also is humble in the sense of understanding there's so much of human experience and knowledge that you can't be an expert of, and respecting others that have achieved expertise in those areas. Do his responses get put publicly up like this as well? Yes. On or about February 8th, 2025, Bottle posts on X that he agrees with another post that claims the plaintiff is extorting him. On or about February 9th, 2025, Bottle makes another defamatory post on X again, telling his followers that plaintiff only cares about getting money from him. He also informs all his followers that the video can still be seen on blank blank. The post has over 1 million views as of this date. He retransmitted the post by citing where you can go see it. This was last week. Oh, sorry, less than 2 weeks ago. What a dumb fuck. The videos disclosed by Bonnell were of a private nature and were never intended for public distribution. Defendant's actions have caused plaintiff severe emotional distress, humiliation, and reputational harm. Plaintiff's career as a political streamer has been adversely affected, and her aspirations of being elected for office have been greatly diminished. I mean, there's no doubt that he's committed damage. No doubt. Count 1. And so we're getting specifically the counts that they're suing him under. Count 1, violation of 15 USC section 6851, the Intimate Image Protection Act. Plaintiff adopts and realleges the allegations set forth in paragraphs 1 through 38 above as though fully set therein. Defendant knowingly and intentionally disclosed the sexually explicit videos without plaintiff's knowledge or consent in violation of 15 USC 6851. Plaintiff is identifiable in the videos. The videos have been viewed by thousands of people and continue to be viewed by thousands. The leak of the videos by defendant and plaintiff's role in the videos has been discussed online by thousands of people. As a direct result of defendant's conduct, plaintiff has suffered extreme emotional distress and harmed your reputation. All of the above actions of defendant violated 15 USC section 6851, and accordingly, plaintiff is entitled to A, preventative and injunctive relief requiring the defendant to delete the videos and barring him from any disclosure of the videos, actual damages in an amount to be proven, or alternatively, liquidated damages in the amount of $150,000, whichever is greater, punitive damage, and reasonable attorney's fees and costs. And then count 2, violation of Florida statute section 784.049. Plaintiff adopts and realleges the allegations set forth in paragraphs 1 through 43. Above is set forth herein. Florida statute section 784 subsection 49.5 provides a statutorily created private right of action. Defendant's knowing and willful dissemination of sexually explicit videos of plaintiff to other people through electronic means without plaintiff's consent and in violation of her expectation that the videos remain private constitutes sexual cyber harassment under Florida statute section 784 subsection 49. Defendant acted intentionally and or with reckless disregard for plaintiff's rights, causing plaintiff to suffer damages. Defendant shared the videos for no legitimate purpose. Tens of thousands of people have viewed the videos on different platforms. Tens of thousands of people are aware of the defendant's release of the videos and have engaged in public online discussions with defendant about the videos of the plaintiff. As a direct, natural, proximate, and foreseeable result of defendant's actions and violation of section 784, subsection 49, plaintiff have suffered damage to reputation, emotional pain and suffering, mental anguish, anxiety, and loss of dignity. Plaintiff seeks injunctive relief requiring the defendant to destroy all videos, stop disclosing the videos, and cease harassing plaintiff. Plaintiff seeks statutory damages as per Florida statute 784.9.5b, or alternatively, actual damages for emotional distress, loss of income, medical expenses, and other damages. Plaintiff seeks attorney's fees and costs pursuant to Florida statute 784.49.5c. Plaintiff also seeks punitive damages in an amount no less than $1 million. Count 3. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. Plaintiff adopts and realleges the allegations set forth in paragraphs 1 through 52. Defendant's conduct of disclosing the videos without plaintiff's consent was either done intentionally or with reckless disregard to the probability of causing a plaintiff emotional distress. So the thing about intentional infliction of emotional distress is it's not just like you intend to cause emotional distress, but if you do something that a reasonable person would expect would cause emotional distress, then that also counts as intentional, right? Like if I have a porn video of you and I share it, and I don't intend to cause you harm, but it causes you harm, any reasonable person would understand sharing a private sexual act with someone else without their consent is going to cause a person distress. A reasonable person would face distress in that situation. So that satisfies the intentionality requirement. That's a very important point to remember. He did it again 2 weeks ago. He's cooked. Yeah, he's totally cooked. Do you think this dipshit has $1 million cash? Yes. Unfortunately, Destiny has been a long time streamer. He probably has millions of dollars. He's been milking his community for 10 years, guys. But you're forgetting about Dolus Specialis. Honestly, if I were Destiny, I would defend myself. Like Destiny, he took the LSAT and he scored like a 148. So I think Destiny should defend himself. Who needs law school? Lawyers are stupid anyway. He should just defend himself. Then he could say whatever the fuck he wants. It might. I wonder if we could stream the case. I wonder if we could get like live in court, like a stream of the game. I think we might be able to. Do we still say Pepe La Dia in this community? I mean, I don't really. I just say Destiny because like Hassan was trying to be a gray rock, right? He was trying to be like, okay, Destiny, I don't like the guy. He's a freak. I don't want anything to do with him. I'm just going to be boring to him. And the thing that he didn't realize is that Destiny is just hyper sexually fixated on Hassan. So there's just no way for him. He'll never leave Hassan alone. If Destiny goes to prison, he'll be trying to keep up with Hassan. He'll be writing letters from prison. He'll be calling people on the prison phone to talk about Hassan. He's never going to stop. Oh, we might be able to we might be able to watch it. Okay, cool. All right, let's keep going. The defendant acted in a way which he knew or should have known that severe emotional distress would likely result. The defendant's actions were so extreme and outrageous that they go beyond all possible bounds of decency and are intolerable in a civil society. Even Destiny's followers agree with this. Even longtime DGG followers that have spent thousands of dollars supporting Destiny agree that his conduct was extreme and outrageous. He is so beyond fucking cooked. Even after defendant became aware of plaintiff was expressing suicidal intentions due to his disclosure of the videos, he continued to disclose the videos to other people without plaintiff's consent. What a fucking freak. There's really nothing to say but react as a human being and say, oh my God. As direct, natural, proximate, and foreseeable result of defendant's intentional harassment and acts, plaintiff has suffered damage to reputation, extreme emotional pain and suffering, severe mental anguish, anxiety, loss of dignity, and is entitled to compensatory damages in an amount no less than $1 million. Because defendant's conduct was intentional and or recklessly indifferent, he is liable for punitive damages in an amount no less than $1 million. Invasion of privacy, count 4, public disclosure of private facts. Plaintiff adopts and realleges the allegations set forth in paragraphs 1 through 59 above as though a fully set herein. Defendant publicly disclosed private facts concerning plaintiff that were not of legitimate public concern, including sexually explicit videos without her consent, and defendant continues to do so to this day. There is no public concern that justifies disclosing sexually explicit images or videos of the plaintiff without her consent. At all times, the defendant acted intentionally and with reckless disregard for plaintiff's well-being. Defendant could have or should have expected public disclosure to arise from this dissemination of the videos to various individuals. The public disclosure of the videos would be highly offensive to any reasonable person, including the plaintiff. Public disclosure of the videos took place such that tens of thousands of people have viewed the videos or are aware of the content of the videos and plaintiff's role in the videos. Plaintiff had a reasonable expectation of privacy in the videos since they were taken with the intention for private use and not for public dissemination. This is the most important part. Just because you have a sex tape doesn't mean it's legitimate for the person who recorded it, and if it was intended to be private, for them to share it everywhere. And if I decide, like, this is very important, and then this is very important in the law. In the law, you disseminate something the moment you send it to one person who's not authorized to see it. You commit defamation when you defame the person to one other third party. It doesn't have to be a post on the internet. It doesn't have to be to everyone to see. The moment you do it to one unauthorized person, you have done that. And in this case, he did it to at least 15 other people. Any reasonable interpretation of the law, he's guilty. Such disclosures have caused the plaintiff extreme humiliation, distress, and emotional suffering. Plaintiff seeks compensatory and actual damages, punitive damages, attorney's fees, and costs. And as we're coming to the end, wherefore plaintiff prayer for relief. Wherefore plaintiff respectfully requests judgment against defendants as follows: 1, for appropriate compensatory and or statutory damages in an amount to be determined at trial, for appropriate equitable and injunctive relief against defendant as allowed by law, for an award of punitive damages, for an award of reasonable attorney's fees, and for such other and further relief to which the plaintiff may be entitled. Demand for jury trial. The plaintiff demands trial by jury of all issues triable as of right by a jury. Dated February 18th, 2025. And there you have it. This is not going to trial. Do you think Destiny's going to just... What? Well, I can't wait to pick. Chat, we've got ourselves a lawyer. We got ourselves a world. It's not going to trial. Why is it going to trial? Has Destiny indicated he wants to surrender and he wants to settle? Has Destiny said he's going to write a check for millions of dollars yet? There are other filings after this. Yes, this is the complaint. This is the initial thing. Can't he just hire a super expensive lawyer and tie her up in legal proceedings until she runs out of money? Why would she run out of money? She has multiple millionaires and wealthy people backing her. How is she running out of money? She has entire communities of millions of people backing her. How is she running out of money? He's going to keep making a ton of money from his fans? Like, what are you talking about? Who's going to be backing him? You know? That's one of the things that people oftentimes say. Brainworms, thank you for the 5. Okay, chat. Well, we're going to be covering this more. What are your guys' questions? Guys, gals, non-binary pals. I think, you know, my impression of this pleading is, listen, things can go either way, but I find this competently argued, well cited. I find they honestly were almost conservative in the stuff they went after. They didn't have a defamation count. They should add a defamation count, honestly. I think they were trying to avoid free speech shit, but he's going to say that. Destiny lawsuit revealed. Legal mindset.
See, the actions he sold to defendant, I'm going to say Destiny. So instead of defendant, I'm going to replace the word Destiny when I'm reading this because they're interchangeable.
All right, chat. By the way, if you enjoy this content, please consider supporting it by subscribing at tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 sub. If you have Amazon Prime, you can attach that to your Twitch account. That's one free sub a month that you get. That's taking money out of Jeff Bezos' pocket. So if you enjoy the fact that we take this stuff seriously, I'm not somebody who sweeps this shit under the rug, right? I'm not a sweeper for Destiny. I'm not XQC, right? I'm not Asmongold. I'm going to talk about this. You know, can you imagine if a similar lawsuit was happening against me or Hassan, every single one of those fuckers would be going through it with a fine-tooth comb. Why are they sweeping? Why are they sweeping? Why are they covering it up? Destiny once said, and I found it to be a really interesting, weird comment, that he had the goods on 20 streamers. That if he goes to prison, he's going to take down 20 streamers with him, implying that he's aware of 20 streamers' wrongdoing. Disgusting. Are there criminal charges yet? I believe that Cherry has said she's filed a criminal complaint. And, you know, so that we don't have good visibility of, you know, what the detectives are, you know, how they're gathering evidence, you know, which district attorney has been assigned. We don't know the information yet. How many people are going to come forward and file criminal charges yet? We just know that this is the first. This is the first. So anyway, if you would, solidarity forever. Thank you, Sailcat. So if you enjoy this content, please consider supporting it because it's the only way. You know, very few people are willing to speak up for what's right in this industry. A lot of people in this industry are just happy to be rich, and they don't give a shit about what's right. It's just the cold, hard truth. They just want to be famous by any means necessary, and they don't care who they have to step on or who gets rolled over or who gets brutalized in the process. I don't want to live in that kind of world. I don't want to live in a society where people get sexually assaulted or sexually victimized or cyber harassed and nothing happens. I'm going to fight against that tooth and nail, even if I'm the only one. So if you think that is the kind of community you want to support, then please consider supporting it because it's the only way it's going to exist. I'm not running ads. Why am I not running ads? I'm not running ads in part because this guy tried to get Twitch basically bankrupt. He tried to bankrupt Twitch. This fucking criminal organized a hate mob to try to bankrupt Twitch so he could get unbanned, so he could target more young girls. That was his strategy. He's a fucking scumbag, and we're never, ever, ever going to stop until he gets justice for his crimes. Bro, if I need to go on the sex offender list, I'm talking to like 20 other streamers with me. Okay, lol W. Chat, how do you think 5'8" Cuban men who are sex offenders fare in Florida State Prison? How do you think 5'8", nebbish, out of shape, liberal men who are sex offenders fare in Florida State prisons? Just something to ponder, something to consider. The thing I'm interested in is
any and all videos he has of her. The leak of the when it dropped. Just saying.
Wait.
Shortly, this is Black Bear. This is probably Kiwi Farms. The video is also shown on pornography, including blank. It's on a bunch of porn sites. The caption on the video on different platforms identify both Destiny and Pixie. Shortly after,
Oh my god, his followers are crazy. Bro, MP Sharky, that's before everybody knew he was a sex pest.
Kiwi Farms. I've heard of Pepperidge Farms. It's far more.
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
Degen's gonna degen. Shortly after the video is posted, various friends and random followers of plaintiff informed her about the dissemination. Some of the messages were very accusatory. She is shocked, humiliated, and mortified by the dissemination of a sexually explicit.
This guy's giving me conservative
video.
vibes.
As of today's date, the video has been viewed on one site over 10,000 times. It has been viewed on another site 58,000 times. It has had at least as many views on other websites, but has been removed. It is still on blank, probably Kiwi Farms, but the site does not have a number tracker, so the number of views is unknown. Let me be very clear here too. The Destiny uploads broke the farms, so it probably was a lot of people looking at that stuff when it dropped. Just saying.
He's a Trump supporter? Okay, that makes sense.
On the evening of
How can he laugh at this? He's a conservative. Like, you could just tell somebody is a conservative if they lack visible signs of empathy or like emotional depth. It's pretty common.
November 29th, the plaintiff sends a message to Benel on Discord expressing her horror that he shared the video of her that were I was aware, let me put it this way, not even lawyers. I was aware that this lawsuit was a real thing and it was going to happen because it's in my home district, so to say, right? I'm from Miami, Southern District of Florida. Of the two places where I really was, Orlando and then Miami, and I'm of course born in Miami, raised in Miami. Very familiar with the goings on and a lot of things down there. I'd heard some scuttlebutt and knew this was being shopped around, and very happy to see a complaint, which is an actual document. Rogue says, reminder: Destiny lost his woman to a broke femboy. Yes. Mama Akko says, time for some Kino. Suffer. So let's get into this. Jane Doe versus Stephen.
Okay, so some people ask me things about criminal cases and civil cases, and thank you guys for the level 9 hype trade and hitting the sub goal for the day. I find conservatives to be unpalatable. I'm not gonna lie, but that's just me. I don't like conservatives. I think being a conservative in 2025 is a sign of like a real profound problem with you. That being said, it doesn't mean he can't be accurate or knowledgeable about the law, right? It's just online conservative spaces are just tough to watch. Is this guy explain why Destiny is innocent? No.
They're obviously Jane Doe, we are assuming is Pixie, though it could be one of the others, but I believes it's a Pixie lawsuit. Comes down plaintiff Jane Doe by and through her undersigned counsel.
I'm interested in
shortly after.
I'm interested about his case of when she deletes the evidence.
That's professional growth and favors from Benel. Well, let's be clear. Okay, let's be very clear. That's probably what was going on. Clout chasing equals quote unquote professional growth, right? Because that.
Or she was a 19-year-old girl who admired him and he exploited it for sex. Like, it wasn't like she was providing him regular sexual encounters, bro. Like, come on, man. This is why conservatives are just. What can you even say?
They're all in there. Pokimane for what it's worth. All of them. All of them.
Pokimane literally is the most PG-13 streamer who doesn't have an OnlyFans. It just exists as a pretty woman on the internet. How is Pokimane a thought? Like, at that point, you're just saying any woman is a thought, which is kind of conservative, of course. Or conservative misogyny. Ugh. I want to see where he talks about. I'm almost done with this video, chat. I just want to see him talking about him deleting evidence.
She would sue. One of his followers reached out to plaintiff and told her Bunnell had sent the video to her sister 2 months earlier. The follower informs plaintiff that she believes Bunnell is sending her sister sexually explicit videos of other women without their consent. Now, if this is true, this is fucked. This is extremely messed up. But what's not messed up is Big Buddhist coming in for 5 Legal Mindset membership. Yes. Thank you, Big Buddhist. Appreciate that. Thanks for the big support of everybody here on the channel. January 21st, aware of an impending lawsuit and potential criminal investigation, Bunnell starts destroying evidence. That is a strong accusation because, you know, once again, destroying evidence, big no-no. Big no-no. Including deleting messages between himself and the plaintiff.
Theo brought me some hot pie. How you doing, Vio? Did you get a good night's sleep?
January 23rd, Bunnell receives...
This guy, what amazing... Okay, thank you, chat. This guy's analysis sucks. I was waiting for him to be like, it's a big no-no. I was like, okay, why is it a no-no? Can you explain what it means? I explained it better. It's been 12 years since I was in law school. All right. Well, chat, we are going to continue to cover all this. If you enjoy the content, please consider, make sure you go and read the article in the local news. I'm going to go link this. We want to give them good metrics on this article, chat. We want this local news channel to keep covering this. Keep covering this. Just click it, listen, scroll through. Maybe even click an ad. Ooh. Viral TikTok beauty products that Amazon users love. Wow, we'll get the app. Wait, is that black or blue or white and gold? Wow. Maybe get, maybe we have this be a very well-performing article. We want to make sure that they do some in-person coverage. Mike, what state am I in now? I float around between a couple places. I even clicked on the Buttigieg article, bro. Wow. Epstein checks their sub constantly. What sub? There are clips on Reddit, DGG Snark from yesterday, saying all sorts of gross shit about the case. Oh, God. Oh, God. Destiny didn't know Rose's age, and he's terrified she might have been underage. What? This is according to J.A. Stalk.
He said it about my people in my Discord leaking logs about him or something, right? He made things up entirely, but he said basically like, oh, all these girls are like just out to get me, so I've started deleting messages. There's no reason to allow it. It's like, bro, that's evidence. You don't understand that's evidence? The people obsessed with Rose above everything else, it's a creepy KF conspiracy. No, it's not. I literally have DMs from Destiny saying, I can beat all of this, I can sweep it all away, but if she's under 18, I'm fucked. What do you mean it's a creepy KF conspiracy? I have personal DMs with Destiny to this effect.
So Destiny may have been sending sexually explicit material to underage girls? That would be grooming, and that would be sexual solicitation of a minor. What's the age of consent in Florida? $18. So that would be sexual solicitation. That would be criminal. So we don't know if it's a minor or not. But wow, if Jay Stalk's accusations are true, and those are pretty big accusations. Pierce Morgan knew what he was doing when adding Destiny and Andrew on the same panel. Good to see Destiny taking some time out of his business of filming girls without their consent. Destiny, the dude who said F the dude who passed away during the assassination. Tough appearance molestity. I'm sure Pixie and Melina are watching this or repeat. I think the last person who needs to speak on any sort of morality is Destiny. Did Destiny do it so many amphetamines to acquire the South Park Canadian style? Isn't Destiny in the process of being exposed for how he treats women? Oh, man. Oh, man.
Do you think the opening up of your side will bring back some of the orbiters who jump ship or are bridges burned for good? Assuming my career survives and I just retire to become a video game player. You've heard the saying, like you are who you hang around or whatever? Or I guess the modern day, the Zoomer version of that, the red pill version is...
Birds of a feather flock together, you dumb fuck, you unlettered swine. God damn, how do you listen to this guy for more than 5 minutes? He's dumber than dirt. He's stupid.
Your net worth is your network or whatever. I guess it was just kind of happening organically, but I don't think it's enough to cut out people's... I don't think it's enough to cut out negative people from your life. I think you have to cut out everybody that's peripheral to those people as well. I could have done that more aggressively. I'll definitely be doing it going forward, but I've also done it... it was kind of already happening organically anyway because I wasn't hanging out with a lot of people, so... But I think it's really important to not keep around, yeah. Because stuff started to connect in the background of this in terms of different types of people where I'm like, how funny, you know, you guys are like, and I say they're like scheming with each other. I'm like, the fuck? It is what it is. To be fair, you haven't put on a sorry tone to be throughout any of this. Like, do you genuinely feel bad for what you did, right? I'll talk more about this tomorrow. The biggest...
This guy posting up with an arsenal of weapons behind him as he's saying he wants me to kill myself and Hassan to kill ourselves. You guys know he did that, right? Like, you know, he went on his stream, and I have no idea how this wasn't a ban-worthy fucking thing to do. But he went on his stream and said, I want Hassan and Mike from PA to kill themselves. Absolutely. The world will be a better place.
I guess my first question is going to be, do you really think Hassan and Mike from PA should kill themselves?
I wish they would. Yes.
Do you think that's at all a harmful statement to make that goes against, I don't know, just objective morality?
No. I think their deaths by suicide would make the world a safer place for more people.
By the way, chat, the thing that I did to him was defeat him in intellectual combat, in debates. Yet that means that the world would be a better place if I killed myself. So funny how his fans plural clutch when you give people to say, I don't even say that. I don't even say that. They will, but they'll pearl clutch. He has literally called for, by the way, he's also said he wanted to kill Hassan. He says he wants Hassan to like go to Yemen so he can join the Navy and fight him or something. Meanwhile, the Navy ran from the Houthis. The Navy had to retreat. They lost. It's just a side point. That's the worst. I mean, just making him look stupid. And I honestly want to go through every single one of the clips that Destiny has attacked with me over the years because it's very funny to just disprove them all. It's very easy. Was that on Bridges? Patreon is pretty damn strict about stuff like that. I don't know. Like, he is a literal sex criminal and telling, you know, he's saying that the world would be better if I didn't live. Because I think you guys should have free college and Medicare for all, and the US should not support Israel's genocide in Gaza. That means the world would be better if I was dead. Because I believe in a future where every human has dignity. Yikes.
We're saying like you have to have an apologetic tone or whatever. If people want me to be apologetic for being like a sex cult rapist groomer person, I'm like, no, I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. Does this include talking about the cherry stuff? I think I will. I want like everything is built off of the Pixie stuff, so I want to like have this done before I move to another, because as soon as I move to the next thing, there's just gonna be a whole bunch of autistic shit that spawns from that as well. So it's just, I'm trying to do this like compartmentalized. Do you feel betrayed by Lonerbox? No, I think Lonerbox was in like an impossibly fucked position. I felt, like I said, I reached out to Verse and I was like, hey, shit is fucked. Like, we don't have to do content. It's cool. I understand. Especially because I think Pixie, lied to him about us ever having hooked up. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much that impacted them or not though. Or not that it matters, I guess, because apparently they're not dating is what we say publicly. So maybe that doesn't matter at all. I'm not sure.
Shit is fucked, aka you did that. All right, chat. I'm done with the sexpecity shit as the main topic. It's going to be a further topic because I am bringing on Nathan Grayson. Sorry, Nathan. Sorry, Nathan. Hold on, chat. I'll be bringing him on in a second. Nathan Grayson is a journalist. And he just wrote a book about me and Hassan and other streamers, but mostly about me. Yay, new book. So Nathan's going to be coming on. We're going to just shoot the shit about the book. We already read the excerpt yesterday. So we're going to be bringing Nathan on. I got to message him and tell him that I forgot to start the Zoom. So when he joins it, we'll bring him on. I just had to say we're going to talk about Destiny. We are going to talk about the Destiny stuff. So if you're here for, you know, me exposing Destiny as a sex criminal, we're also going to be talking about him more. So don't worry, it'll be a fun side topic. But I want to bring on a guest, professional author Nathan Grayson, journalist, previously with the Washington Post. Now he's the co-founder of the website Aftermath, which is like a new gaming ethical game journalism website. Did I get a signed copy? I was supposed to, but it didn't show up yet. So it is what it is. You know, it's fine. This is the book. Stream big. So it's gonna be pretty exciting. Pretty exciting stuff. All right. We're just gonna wait for Nathan to get there, and we're gonna keep talking. The thing about Destiny in particular is that
there are shock waves across Cal Fire in the city of Ramona.
The thing about Destiny in particular is, like, you have to understand, this guy doesn't believe in anything except for what's good for him. It's very important that you understand that. All right? Like, Destiny doesn't care about, like, a consistent set of morality. It's like, what rules for thee, but not for me, right? He doesn't care. He's a nihilist. He is somebody who doesn't find value in the suffering of other people. He doesn't find value in the happiness of other people. The only thing he cares about is himself. Now, that is alien to most human beings because we are deeply social animals where we just can't help but care about others. We can't help but empathize with others, right? And so he's a freak. And the problem is the internet has created an opportunity for freaks like him.
Because, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says in this,
and this is how he thinks about the world around him.
Because, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says in this, I am a victim in this. Unarguably, the largest victim. I was the target of this, and I've been the one the most horribly impacted.
This is like somebody drunk driving and killing a group of people and being paralyzed in the accident and going, I'm the biggest victim. You're the drunk driver! You caused the crash! You are a scum. I mean, this is basic. This is abuser 101. Deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. The abuser vehemently denies the survivor's account of what happened. This can include gaslighting the survivor to make the survivor doubt their memory. The survivor may begin to question whether or not they're blowing it out of proportion. The abuser shifts the focus of the survivor's credibility and whether or not others, including law enforcement, should believe them. This should include bringing up past indiscretions in the survivor's past, questioning the survivor's mental health, accusing the survivor of abusing drugs and alcohol, or asserting the survivor is the abusive one, when in reality the survivor was reacting to the abuse being inflicted. The abuser may even insinuate that the survivor wanted what happened, or that because of the couple is married, the abuser could possibly have sexually assaulted them. The end result could be that the survivor feels bullied or disparaged into staying quiet, or may feel some sense of their abuse being their own fault. The final step of this twisted manipulation tactic is for the abuser to secure their title of victim and reposition the actual survivor as the offender. They might contend that the survivor had some vendetta to destroy them. They might say the survivor is lying in order to turn people against the abuser, become more popular, take away their children, or receive a larger divorce settlement. The abuser might claim they're the victim of the system, may use their socioeconomic standing, race, or gender to support their claim. All the while, the survivor's actual disclosure of abuse is overshadowed. The survivor will end up spending more time trying to defend her reputation than receiving help for the abuse. He's a textbook abuser, textbook narcissist, textbook sociopath. He's an evil son of a bitch. If evil exists, it's represented by this man. Destiny caught messaging random fans again yesterday.